lights, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, they had that one snipped out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Johnson. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Palmer. And it's complete. Henry. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
On first down, it's Palmer. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. For Williams, there are the numbers from a week ago. 5 catches, 59 yards, and a touchdown.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. On the jet sweep, this is Johnson. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally down at the 32-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
From the gun, it's Palmer. Complete, it's Henry. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. He's a second-round pick, a solid second-round pick. But when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had first-round grades on him.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. And now here's a carry heading left. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
A throw over the middle, taken in. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Tried to go draw play out of the gun down here.
Yeah, they tried to spread things out, didn't they? They wanted to move people away from the center of the field, away from the line of scrimmage near the ball, so that the runner could find some space. Unsuccessfully, though.
Now Palmer. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion. Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play. Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Well, they didn't get in the end zone, but pretty good balance there on the opening drive between the run and the pass.
Yeah, I think that was probably what they wanted to get accomplished right out of the gate. Throw the ball with success, run it, of course, to set the tone. So we saw the offensive coordinator's play sheet, probably wrote himself a little note. Exactly what we wanted to do. Probed it early and got it done.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
218, chop. Get wide. Ready.
On first down, it's Parker. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside.
And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down.
Let's go, boys.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
56 to Mike.
Now Ben on third and long. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. It's caught. Spaeth. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 31-yard line. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Ready, break. Go, go. Go, go, go. 55 is Mike, guys, 55. Yo, 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 yo. Yo.
From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Steelers have taken the lead. And partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening, but they found the opening and exploited it.
So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Now Palmer to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
That's what I'm talking about. Sack all day, baby. Go ahead and take a seat. You can't stop me.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Palmer now. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Parker. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down now, it's Parker. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh 1st.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end?
And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll run it with Johnson. Breaks the tackle now with Allen. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? He said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On second down, it's Parker. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ready. 51's the mark. Hey, watch the slant. Now.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. This is Johnson. He's got it. Give him 30 yards there.
You had to figure they'd take a shot downfield on third and long, so the old cliche came into mind right away for me. Who wants it more? You always hear about receivers, you hear about their hands, their moves, their speed. How about the positioning and the desire to go get that one out of the air?
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Johnson the intended target, but it's going to be second down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Check, 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 check.
Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then You want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
too many syllables.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now.
And that's caught inside the 35. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 49 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in the first half, 10-7, our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. From 4 yards out, and the Steelers are going to retake the lead. Point after here coming up.
An excellent, long, sustained offensive drive, and now they can look across the field and see a defense that looks a little bit beaten down. Right now, as an offensive coordinator, you're thinking to yourself, can I dial up the knockout punch?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now here's the signal caller, getting ready to lead this offense again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Here we go again. Here we go.
Now Palmer on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? When you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Palmer to throw again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
Now Palmer. He finds his man Johnson. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. To throw again, it's Palmer. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Palmer. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Let's go. Let's do this.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack charge.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Roethlisberger. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40. They were looking for Johnson that time.
Well, partner, if we had their entire playbook in front of us, I'm not sure we would have picked out that play as the one to run in that situation. How about the guts of the offensive coordinator? Dialing that one up into great success.
Here we go, here we go. 60 outlaw. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Now.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now Roethlisberger. Airing one out deep for Holmes here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, complete. That's Ward. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. So a very tight first half. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
General West. Check 13.
On second down now. It's Parker. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Let's go now. 60 Pittsburgh. Christian, travel. Ready?
They go play action now. Palmer. A battle for it here, and this will be caught. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
And this really is a good defense because what they've done is focus on stopping the running game and being physical against it.
And the numbers, they really bear that out. They're currently 5th in the National Football League in rushing defense. He completes it to Henry. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Palmer. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 14. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball, right?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Palmer. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And his kick is right there. It's good. And with that, the lead changes hands here in this 3rd quarter. So it's his 3rd field goal now with the ball game, and they've needed his leg. This last one gives him the lead.
It's been a back and forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Parker the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Hey, foxtrot. Step.
Roethlisberger will throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Defense.
Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now it's Palmer. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's Palmer. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Palmer will throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. He's at the 40. 20. 10. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that. Anytime we have a defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They can't stop us, baby. Every time.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness that defensive line is eating them alive.
To throw is Palmer. He gets this one to Johnson. Got some room at the 30. 27 yards there, a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now Palmer on 3rd and long. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. A pass down the middle is fought for and hauled in. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Well, last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
To throw again is Roethlisberger. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. Johnson was the intended receiver. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Palmer to throw. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
This is Johnson. He's got it. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Off the draw, here's Johnson. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped to the backfield. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now it's Palmer. Complete. It's Johnson. 30. The 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are once again going to retake the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is taken near the 13. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, well, man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The throw over the middle taken in, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
80 weapon.
On 1st down, Parker. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Heady on that one, huh? Getting out of bounds before the 2-minute warning. They get an extra timeout, extra opportunity to move the ball downfield. Very smart football.
On 2nd down, it's Parker. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. But we knew this had the potential to be a tight game, but with less than 3 minutes to play, couldn't be any tighter. We're all tied.
All locked up, right? And this next drive is going to tell us everything we need to know about this game because I want to see how they come out with the football. Are they going to be aggressive and attack downfield? You still got the 2-minute warning to come up. Or are they going to be conservative and try and hold on and maybe just get to overtime?
The Bengals drive about to get going, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Here's Palmer to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Here's Palmer. Johnson's got it complete. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Roethlisberger. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
On the set.
Brings up 3rd down.
Hey, we got right. We got right.
That's the end of regulation.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
He was able to escape momentarily in the backfield, but you could just kind of tell that wasn't going anywhere.
You know, in the film session, he'll get a minus for not getting him on the ground by himself. But what the coach is really going to analyze, how fast did his teammates get there to help him? If one guy slows him up, everyone else better be there, and that's what they got on that play.
And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
A big play that time through the air. 34 yards. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Now Palmer to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
On the ready.
56. Check 56.
We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go. Get it.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. It gets it into the arms of Parker. Complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be a second down. So a little chunk there on first as they try to chip away down 3 in overtime.
I like your description. Chip away, down 3. You don't have to get it all in one big play, although obviously that would be nice. But there's no need to have that type of risk associated with it. Run your offense, get first downs, get yourself in a position where you know you're going to at least get 3 and keep this game going.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Hey, Charlie. Ready?
Now Ben on 3rd and long. And the catch made by Johnson. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. They wanted to avoid the dreaded 4th down and having to get a conversion or it being the final play. They picked it up, though, on 3rd.
I love how you described that because we've been in those situations and seen it. If you get to 4th down, especially in overtime, things get a little shakier, don't they? The hands get shaky, right? The throw, if you're going to throw the ball, being able to run it, all of that coming down to one big play. Very nice of them and nice for them to pick it up on 3rd.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Bravo. Go.
Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to let it go. And this will be caught. Touchdown. They needed overtime to get it done, but put this one in the win column. Great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Pittsburgh, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now.